I play Sally, and she went to uni and took a gap year and went to London and loved it and stayed there. And that's when she met Zara and David, who are the people that she looks after their newborn child, Cameron. And I think the interesting part where you meet Sally is, and it's something that I definitely relate to, and I think a lot of young people do, probably particularly Australians, of that first trip overseas where you start to work out who you are as an adult, particularly being also thrust into a family that is like so wealthy and the opulence, and she sort of goes on trips with them all the time and witnesses all of these sort of versions of high society when she was sort of from a quite middle class upbringing in Australia. And then being caught in this situation where, you know, you're trying to survive and be strong and know what to do, but also really needs to be looked after, and that sort of mix between naivety and trying to be an adult. I've never worked on a story before that's based on a real event, and I found it quite extraordinary and also quite terrifying. And terrifying because I think you feel a huge responsibility to the people that were there. Yeah, I think it changes the stakes. And what is amazing is you have such a huge, rich amount of backup material, and I became obsessed with reading people's transcripts and like researching the attack, and it's fascinating. I think what is fascinating is it was a group of people that never expected that to happen to them, and so it's a lot of people caught up in something quite horrific. And the way that people responded, particularly the hotel staff, but was generally with an amazing sense of calm and kindness, and I think that's really an incredible part of the story. It's been really challenging, and I think that's rewarding and hard and scary and terrifying and all of those things, but I've enjoyed that challenge. I've also really loved working with babies. I've had every scene with pretty much a 6-month-old baby, and we sort of swap them in and out, and it's been excellent and challenging. I'm someone who would really like to prepare and know exactly what I'm doing and practice it and think about it and plan how I want it to go. And then you get handed a baby and they're completely gorgeous, but they also always do the opposite of what you want them to do. So, you know, you'll be sobbing and they'll be laughing at you, or the opposite. And it's really a very challenging aspect of making this film. I hope that it honours the people that were in that situation, and I have a lot of empathy for anyone who has been through a situation like that. I also feel like it's a very tricky subject matter, and unfortunately one that I think is becoming more and more prevalent in our world at the moment. And I do feel like, without getting political or anything, and I don't think this film is trying to do that either, it's trying to tell the human story of this.